When did you learn to become a diving instructor?
Yeah, well, when I finished my apprenticeship at Ford. You leave this apprenticeship at 21, fit as a butcher's dog, an amateur diver, an amateur climber, and all that. But I popped out into the sort of real world in 1971, 72, where you got people who are all on strike. It was a depressed period then, the early 70s in Britain. People on strike, miserable old men I was working with, looking for any excuse to go on strike. And it had a horrible atmosphere. And I was wondering, well, that's it then. I didn't want to just live like that. And at that moment, in the newspaper, they were advertising for toolmakers in America. So I applied for a job, got it. Johnson Outboards, which is on Lake Michigan, north of Chicago.
Right.
And I went there and I landed in America and found I was in the factory, working with people who were in the factory, doing a good job, heads up, fit, active people. When they weren't in the factory, they were racing cars or racing motorbikes, or they owned a couple of apartment buildings, or they were climbers or skiers or divers. They had big lives.
Yeah.
And I thought, right, I'm going to get my paddy tickets. So when I got to the States, I found all these enthusiastic people who weren't just working in factories like me. They had proper lives, racing cars, racing motorbikes, diving, climbing. So I thought, well, there's paddy here. And I learned to be a paddy instructor. And this was in 78 I started that. And finally at the end of 79, beginning of 1980, I became a paddy instructor.
Wow, okay.
Number 12314. And I haven't ever let it go. I'm still an active and current paddy instructor and have been ever since.
Okay. So how long were you in the States for? Where did you work? Where were you going? Where did you dive?
I was in the States for 13 years, and for the first few years I carried on working for Johnson Outboards and got myself established, and that paid for me to get my commercial diving ticket, and also sorted out my paddy instructor ticket, and also became a mountain guide as well. So I was still working at the factory, but I was travelling anywhere in the States to rank up my passions and turn them into professional qualifications. And finally, some great day I managed to leave the factory. I still remember walking out of there, but that was only because I got a very good diving contract. I was teaching at the YMCA's, the high schools, the local police department, I was teaching Chicago Police Department, Lake County Underwater Recovery Team.
Wow, okay.
Teaching diving at any level to anybody, and really building up my repertoire really of diving education. And then, of all things, I managed to pick up a contract at the Great Lakes Naval Training Centre, which is very close to where I was living. And I got it. I couldn't believe it. I applied for it. I thought I'll never get it, and I did. So then I became the director of the scuba diving program at Great Lakes Naval Training Centre.
Right.
So that meant that I was teaching diving night and day to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people all the time. So I was all over the place, then just diving. When I wasn't diving, I was leading climbing expeditions in Alaska, Mount McKinley, and down in Ecuador, Iliniza, Cotopaxi and Chimborazo, 3 classic peaks, or working in the North Cascades. And then on the commercial diving front, I was diving for US Steel, Gary, Indiana, installing air curtains mostly. So I did that right until 1988.
And did you enjoy that side of diving? Just getting your hands dirty?
I was a professional diver,
Yeah.
And I was clean. I was doing everything I could. I was just throwing myself in. Lake Michigan's a very active region. So I was in Waukegan Harbour and Great Lakes Harbour and all those harbours, cleaning boat hulls, had my little sign, All Rose Diving Services.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I've still got the little business card. I was, people drop sunglasses or, scrub the hulls or repairing propellers, anything. So I was doing everything to do with diving. I took it on.